This is officially our second episode of our 5th season.
Yes. And it's officially winter.
It's officially cold as
Damn
nuts
cold.
outside, man.
Yes.
It's January 16th, 2024. Dude's like us moment here. Welcome to the podcast. We got a great show lined up today. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I am Joe.
And it's 25 degrees outside.
It was 8 yesterday. When I
Eight?
8.
It may be 25 now, but it was like 10, 12 this morning.
That's cold.
Yeah.
Been taking my wife to work in the morning, and you know, strange enough, I chose to walk over to Jeff's house, at least partially. I was cooped up in the house. I work from home, so
That's
I
what
was
I
like,
told him.
I need a little fresh air.
I pulled up next to him and he opens the door, and I'm like, we've been doing this for 4.5 years or 5 years. You've never gotten a head start and started walking.
Except
and
on
it's,
the
yeah,
coldest
it's
day of the
20
year.
degrees, and you decide to do this.
I got a lot of stuff going on in this brain. I felt it therapeutic to walk a little bit before I got here.
Certainly brisk.
Well,
That's for sure.
And it was cold, but what I was getting at is walking down the street, I noticed like several houses that had water coming out of them.
Coming out of them?
Yeah. So
Really?
There's
already burst pipes.
Yeah, there's burst pipes. I mean, a lot of people will note that there's like faucets that don't work. That's because some of the plumbing gets jammed up. But on worst case scenarios, those plumbing parts that get clogged up, once that ice starts to really form, man, it expands. And
It's the hard freeze warning, right? So,
I will tell you, I have through my job, I have seen some spectacular stuff that ice can do.
yeah.
And like Dallas, for example, the city of Dallas has a plant where they process water, and they distribute it. It's like in the Highland Park area. It's
Like they pull the poop out?
Yeah.
Like a sewage plant.
They don't. I don't think they manage the like sanitary water like that. I think what they do is they have like water that's coming in from a stream or a fresh area. It's
Like
it's
runoff, maybe? Like rain runoff?
It's water that's channeled there strategically. So they've got these avenues that the water gets. So the plant will take the water and it puts them into these large vats and it processes it, puts it through filters and stuff. But where I'm driving at is that these pipes are 24 inches, 3 foot in diameter, and they're big boy pipes.
Yeah, big pipes.
They're super thick. They've got bolts that they got like 50 rivets around this motherfucker, and that thing was split open like a coconut.
Oh, wow.
From ice. It's amazing
And that's
what
what
Mother
like
Nature can do.
half-inch thick steel or
Yeah,
iron or whatever.
It's crazy. Mother Nature is crazy. It's absolutely bone. I mean, it just took me back to it's hard to fathom that something like that can happen from water freezing, you know.
And you ever seen the Great Lakes? There's like an ice pileup when there's like heavy winds during winter.
Yeah.
And it stacks up this just big, gigantic.
Like icebergy type things? but
Yeah.
Small icebergs.
And it's the same type of thing. It's incredibly destructive.
And we think that we can control the climate
Oh, yeah, we totally
and
do.
impact it.
You're so stupid.
It kinda
it's
is.
global warming, bitch. Please, doesn't look like global warming to me. You fucktards.
Like shit. Yeah, Julie, where she works, they had a couple pipes burst in the ceiling right at the front of the building, and it just flooded the whole front office all the way down, and there's water everywhere.
At the CTE Center, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's expensive.
Yeah, and you know, I will tell
And
you,
we pay for that, right?
If there's insurance, yeah, sure.
the insurance will cover it, but there's a lot of moving parts to that. Like there's a lot of pipes that burst from fire suppression systems. Those are kind of the big heavy hitters because a lot of times those things will be put somewhere where the area is not climatized.
Right.
Like there are specific rules that kind of are
So
forgotten.
they're the first to get frozen and ruptured.
But
yeah.
they're kind of forgotten. It's kind of like, hey, you know, they got the fire suppression systems up in the attic or above, right below the roof lines, and the contractors forget that they need to climatize that.
They gotta like wrap it in
Yeah,
pipe,
well they
pipe
got to
foam.
Well, there needs to be some sort of radiant barrier of some sort to maintain the integrity climately in that little area.
Sure.
Because when it freezes, those joints pop. That's another amazing thing because those pipes are super thick too, and those things are just being contorted like they're freaking Starburst candies. You know,
It's amazing. The power of nature.
and the pressure of water that comes out of those.
Yeah.
So my question is this: how come the houses here in North Texas are not built to accommodate for the cold? It gets cold like this every year. There may be one winter where it doesn't get down to 8, but
Right.
how come the houses up in Wisconsin
They're
and
saving
Chicago
money.
don't burst?
Yeah, because they don't want it. It's not code, for one thing.
Well, why isn't
And if
it?
it's not code,
Well,
then
happens
certainly
every
home
year.
builders are
So
not going
there's-
to go the extra cost, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what it is, and there's cutting corners is one, and there's also where you put the pipes. A lot of times in the northern states, they won't have pipes on the exterior of the building or the perimeter of the building, meaning that if there's a bathroom, they keep it
Yeah.
all within the envelope of the house and not that outside wall.
Where I grew up, that was the case.
You
Yeah.
know,
Because I have two, whenever it gets this cold, I have two areas in the house, and they're both externally facing, my externally facing sink, my sink, the cold water stops, and then the toilet right next to it.
So if we were to
Every
build
time.
another house, we want to say no outside faucets or pipes.
well, you want to have a spigot, for.
Well, no, I
you
mean
know,
inside.
yeah.
Like you don't want your kitchen sink.
Yeah,
Like yours. Yours is on a
Mine's
wall.
right, and it never has any problems,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Typically, but it does happen. Under the slab leaks are, that happens. I mean, look, leaks happen. It's unfortunate, but water is devastating too. Water.
Well,
That's
will
what I
kill
mean. Why don't
everything.
they change the code? They know it happens every year. People you hear just crazy shit happening with all their pipes burst.
Well, the February freeze was
Yeah.
catastrophic.
Well, that was bad.
2
but-
years ago.
But every year it
That
does
was like
this.
tens of thousands.
That was because
of,
that was compounded with the power being out, and
Yep.
nobody had the ability to heat up. And what's fucked up about that whole experience is the money that it cost to do all those repairs that the insurance companies had to pay for. You're kind of pointing fingers at who's to blame for this, and then the ERCOT was kind of like, "Hey, it was us, but guess what? We're a municipality, so you can't sue us. Fuck off." And
well,
and you know what?
their
They can't.
whole board quit after that whole thing.
Right.
Like literally, like 6 of them. They were all like, "Yeah, we're done here."
So
Because
he
they
was
didn't
picking
wanna,
up the
like-
tab on that. We are. So you wonder why your insurance is going up? It's because of that. That's
Right.
part of that.
Right.
Probably, yeah.
Right.
They're going to get their money back somehow.
Oh yeah, they're not in to lose money. And I listened to the news before it got cold here, so last Friday maybe. And Greg Abbott was on making an announcement saying, "Hey, there's cold coming up. We got plenty of power. There are 2 days because we got wind power back up. But you're going to be 2 periods."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm making this up. Monday at noon, from noon to 3.
Like they already knew that.
Yeah, so because they see the weather pattern, they're like, "What? There's going to be no wind power from like noon to 3 on Monday,
Wind power. God.
and
stupid.
on
It's so
Tuesday."
stupid.
So they're like, during those times, we have reserve energy, but we may ask you to
Not
Conserve.
on your washing machine during that period.
correct. So my thing is, we can't rely on this renewable energy because it's unreliable.
That's right. Because you have
Your
to
wind
you have to make
stops.
accommodations for it.
Yeah, your
And
wind
you have to
stops,
plan.
and you're out of energy
That's right.
unless you have a coal backup somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
And
Well, during that period, I just ran my washing machine empty. I just ran it.
right.
So I mean, there's
ran it,
other
ran it.
kind of tricks. I don't want to call it tricks, but there's like little things that you can get circulating pumps for. I mean, those they already sell those. Like for example, if you have a part of your house where it takes forever for the hot water to get to,
Oh, I hate
Uh,
that. Yes.
you
Tell me
simply-
how to fix that. I hate it.
It's called a circulating pump. So really, you go to the farthest end.
I thought it was an instant hot thing.
Instapot.
No,
No,
so,
not Instapot.
Oh,
all right, so that's just the source of the water is hot.
some
So that
rice.
has nothing to do unless you have it like right next to the sink. With again, no. The circulating pump is different. So circulating pump, you go to where it's at. So
Okay.
you go to your sink and you have those two. You have the hot and cold, right?
Right.
And you basically you unscrew the little things that go to the sink, and then you tie one into the cold into one side of the pump, and you tie the hot into the other side of the pump, and the pump has an output that
So
will
it's
go.
got its own little heater. So it's like
It-
putting a little
it-
water
it
heater
doesn't heat.
underneath your
no,
sink.
No. So what it does, it takes the hot water and it shoves it into the cold water. That's it. That's why they call it a circulating pump.
Like constantly.
No, there's a timer. Some of them are kind of sophisticated where you have Wi-Fi where you can say, hey, I want you to turn on. Like if you get up, let's say you take a shower strategically every 6:30 in the morning every single day. Hey, I want you to turn on at 6:20. The circulating pump goes, turns on,
Okay.
and it turns on for like a couple minutes.
So it's basically, when you go to the sink and you put on hot water and then you walk off for 5 minutes,
Yes.
10 minutes.
But
It's doing that for you, but not wasting the water.
Exactly. And it's kind of interesting how it works. I mean, it's shoving the hot water into the cold side.
Right.
So basically if you're somewhere else in the house and you flip the cold water on, it might be it's going to be warm. However, it won't stay warm for long because it's does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. But I'm not crazy. I mean, I thought in the newer homes now they have like this big thing that's like it's instant hot water.
All that is
It's tankless water heater.
it's a
Tankless
tankless
water
water
heater, yeah.
I mean,
It's
that's
not-
just another way of getting hot water.
That's not instant, though. It still has to run through your pipes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But everybody who has one like touts how, oh yeah, no, I don't have that problem anymore because blah blah blah.
Oh, I don't have
no,
one.
that's
so.
not true. That has nothing.
Not true, huh?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. So,
Interesting.
like,
Maybe-
if you were to get a tankless water heater in your house, and you were to do nothing else but get the tankless water heater, it's still going to take the same amount of time for that hot water to get from point A to point B. Period.
Interesting.
Because you can't. I mean,
Right, because all it's doing is a different way of heating water. It's
That's
not
it.
making the water get through the pipe any faster.
That's correct. And it consumes a tremendous amount of natural gas.
Which is good. I like natural
Well, it
gas.
depends, unless you're like in New York where they want to rule out natural
Right.
gas.
Well, now they're going after, was it?
Kitchen sinks, or
dishwashers.
When is it going to
You're
stop?
allowed to use like half a cup of water to clean your dishes in their dishwasher.
When is this going to stop?
When Biden gets out.
And then he needs to get out.
All right,
Well, and
so
Iowa was
let's-
a big step in that direction.
Well, real
are we
quick.
gonna do this?
Well, real quick. Going back to the windmills.
Yeah.
Those are ecological and they don't use fuels. Well, they take 80 gallons of oil a year.
Yeah. It's a ridiculous amount of oil that it takes to lubricate the
Yeah.
engines.
Yeah, but
motors.
but that's made from biofuel.
No, that's from old
doesn't-
dinosaur shit.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, so 80 each one of those. You go out there to Lubbock, all those 80
I don't think it's
gallons.
It's
a
not
shit
80
ton.
gallons.
It's
I
80
think
gallons.
it's 80 barrels, isn't it?
Well, they said 80 gallons.
Who's they?
The news on the radio, unless they read it wrong.
So I have no way of knowing if that's a lot or not. Because, I mean, when you consider how much energy they produce versus how much oil they need to stay
But do
operational.
they produce a lot? Does one of those produce a lot of
I
energy?
have no idea. I just think they're obscene, they're obnoxious, and I can't imagine that people who built their retirement home, like out in the country, and now what they look at is like 4,000 of these stupid windmills. I can't imagine they're happy about
Right.
it.
Well, it's just like over on the East Coast, right? So they want to put they put these windmills in the ocean.
Well, they're backing off of that now.
Well, they are because it's killing whales.
Well, that too.
But the Kennedys didn't want to look at them. They're big. Like one, if you remember, what was his name? Robert Kennedy, the guy who killed the chick at Chippewa, or whatever that place was.
No.
Senator Kennedy, Ted Kennedy. What's his name?
Ted Kennedy.
Not Robert.
Okay.
Ted Kennedy.
Okay.
He was a big proponent for clean energy, but they were like, "Yeah, we're going to put this wind farm out there." Like, no,
Yeah,
my property will see it.
Yeah, I want clean energy, but just not where I am.
NIMBY, not in my backyard.
Right?
Right.
Ugh, it's so nauseating.
It is. So plus it's interfering with whale migration
Ugh.
because I guess those produce some kind of ultrasonic sound.
I'll tell you what.
Causing whale problems.
And I find it so interesting when the leftist environmental groups turn on each other. It's just like the Sierra Nevada,
the Sierra Club.
Sierra Club when all the birds were getting killed by the windmills
Right.
out in the rural areas. I mean, eagles and falcons and hawks. I mean, by the thousands. Just getting torn up by these things. I don't know. Did they solve that problem, or did they just pay them to go away? The Sierra Club.
I don't know. Did they put like a big fan cover over it, like in
Did.
your house?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's
This wire
a-
mesh.
There's
This
another
ginormous
style
wire
of windmill that is far better to use than the current ones that we have.
It's like a corkscrew.
Yes. So they're pylons that basically, instead of having these huge propellers stretched out, these things are literally like 3 feet wide and go up 10 foot, and they just spin on a cylinder.
Oh, why wouldn't they do that?
Well,
That
Someone's-
looks like a new wind turbine design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep. So those things are supposed to be
kinda
far
cool
more
looking.
efficient and don't require 700 gallons of oil a day, a year.
Are they degradable, biodegradable? Because the big ones are not.
I don't
Those
know.
big blades.
I don't know.
Well, we talked about that. There's like huge.
We did
pits
talk about that
where they're burying the blades.
in the salt mines
Yeah, but
next
yeah,
to the nuclear waste.
But those are they biodegradable? I don't know. Probably not. I would assume that they're just like the other ones, except that they're not so tremendous.
Those almost look metallic.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are or not.
Well,
I think they just look like drill bits.
It's German engineering, and they're
kinda cool
they're
looking.
ingenious. In fact, they've got a couple that will literally they'll do a tremendous amount of energy for your house.
Huh.
I'll put that on my roof.
Yeah, they're not,
Well,
and they're
it
not.
only looks like it's 200 feet tall.
No, I don't.
Oh, true.
I don't know how
Yeah,
tall
that's not
those
bad.
are, but they've had
30
some
feet
smaller.
wide?
No, I think that's a dude standing right there on the right, on the picture.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
a little
as
bit-
okay. It's not as big as what I was thinking then.
No, well, whatever. I mean,
That's
they're
cool though.
So we're talking about alternatives in
Better alternative.
Yeah, they're better, and they don't take up all the oil. I mean, because those other ones take an absurd amount of oil. They
Right.
really do. 70 gallons. I mean, I'm looking at
Well,
something
imagine
says
that
it's
a
700
lubricant
gallons.
for moving parts. I mean,
Those don't take any kind of oils.
they have
I
to.
don't know. I'm sure they do, but they also are balanced on some sort of man. I don't know. I mean, they're balanced though. The science of it is that they're kind of
They're
on
magnetic.
a pivot. What's it called? Pivoting on a little like a top.
Spinning
You know
top.
how a spinning top can spin for quite some time.
Interesting.
Whatever.
Again, I think they should design giant balls that go wung, gung, gung, gung.
They're in my pants.
I mean, that's the way to generate limitless energy. Actually, we've talked about this before, but fusion is making leaps and bounds, man. It's coming. I think it's going to happen in our lifetime. I think they'll have
Well, we'll
not a
see.
working reactor, but they will prove that it's scalable within our lifetime.
I hope
Fusion, that's incredible.
so. It's gonna
solves all
fuck
these
up.
problems.
It's only gonna create new ones because we're all the fossil fuel businesses. All the people that own all the fossil fuel businesses, they're gonna be all been out of shape.
Well,
and
they'll
they're gonna
buy
be
all
like,
the fusion
Fuck that.
business.
Well, yeah,
but,
that's
but
true.
these
They'll buy
are
it all.
but these are going to be for power generation. These are nuclear fusion power plants. It's not going to be to run your car, I don't think.
Well, I mean,
But-
why
But
not?
that's a good point.
I
Why
bet it
not?
will at some point.
I mean, back in the future, that's what he had.
Yeah.
He put banana peels in his fusion reactor.
That's true.
Yeah,
That is true.
So,
some old tampons and toilet paper. And,
Ooh.
yeah. I don't know about tampons.
just whatever was laying around in the garbage can.
Toilet
Yeah, he did.
paper.
He just kind of took the lid off the garbage and started dumping shit in there. And
That would have been funny if he pulled like one nasty old
Sock.
tampon out.
would it be awesome?
Well, that would have been fun
I don't know about that.
in the movie.
She was like, "That's mine."
And he's holding it by the
Yeah,
string.
right.
And he's like, Jesus.
Come on, Doc, that's my condom.
Not again.
I'm sorry.
Jeez. Anyway,
All right. Well, you know what? So we're going on the energy thing. That those windmills are ridiculous. And
Yeah.
you're right. We're driving.
Dumb.
I mean, you go to Lubbock a lot when you go visit Brandon.
Yep.
I travel out there. And,
I hate seeing them.
I don't
bother
hate
me.
them. I don't hate them. But I'll tell you what. I had dinner at a restaurant, a little steak place out there by Amarillo, and I was sitting at the bar, and there was a group of 4 guys sitting right next to me, and they were all windmill technicians.
Workers, yeah.
Yeah, engineers.
Yeah, it's a booming
And-
business, I'm sure.
Well, what he told me was like, I don't care what in his really weird accent, man. It was like
Hungarian.
no, he was like from Michigan, but had country. It was like backwards country Michigan, that's kind of Canadian, kind of thing. So it was really odd.
It was a mind bend. Huh?
Yeah, but it was like, well, oh, never mind. I don't want to
Hey,
go
what
there.
was he saying though?
What he was saying, it was ridiculous how inefficient those things were.
Oh God.
It's like, yes, they absolutely produce energy. They do what they're supposed to do. But the amount of money it takes to maintain those is absolutely ridiculous. He was just like, we're 4 engineers. I'm not going to tell you how much we get paid, but it ain't worth it for the work that we do.
Isn't that
It's
wonderful?
absolutely crazy.
Isn't it it just crawls all over you, because that just tells you that the reason for doing it is not because it's a superior way of generating electricity.
No.
It's a bullshit. It's a scam.
Look, guys, look what we did.
Well,
Aren't you proud of me?
It's a scam.
It's a virtue signal.
It's a virtue.
Just like
yeah.
just like I think a lot of folks do with the EVs who are having a lot of trouble now
Right.
during this cold snap.
I know, it's so great. I hate to like love their misery, but so what was the story? Where were they in? Maybe Michigan or Detroit or something, and they drove down to the. Well, first off, they couldn't charge. Were they not allowed to charge at their house?
I don't
Or
think
they
they're
lost
allowed
power.
Correct. And so they were going down to the superchargers or the outdoor chargers where you go up and you pull up and sit for 3 hours and you charge your car.
Well, no, it's not supposed to be 3 hours.
Well, it's not
It's supposed to be like 40 minutes, but
Well-
they charged it for 3 hours and it didn't do anything.
Right. And
It's
they're-
too cold
and
to
they're-
charge their cars.
And there's like a graveyard of EV vehicles.
They called it a graveyard of robots. Just one person's coming.
Yes.
This EVs are falling apart, dude.
They are.
And the dealers are saying, we're not losing any more money. We're done with this.
Well, did you hear that Hertz is selling 20,000 of them
Yes.
Yeah.
at a loss of $25 million?
Okay. It's not practical. When businesses are losing money, it's not going to fly.
Well,
So-
every time I go out to see my dad and I say, I need a rental car, they always try to get me into
Yeah, I
a
was gonna say
Tesla.
Screw that.
And I always say, no, because
Because I'll be stranded.
I know where I'm going, and they don't have chargers down there.
No.
Anywhere that I've seen.
Right.
So,
I mean,
would
the
say
only
no.
reason why they stayed afloat and have stayed afloat this long is because they are subsidized
Correct.
by the government. Didn't they? I think they said that if they weren't subsidized, the cheapest one would be, man, I don't want to throw out numbers that are totally bullshit, but I thought it was like 60,000 would be the cheapest that they would be. But it's got to be way more than that. That's how much they are now.
Yeah, I think they average about 50,000 because there's Tesla's come out with some, I say inexpensive, but for an EV, they're like in the 30s, I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, it'd be interesting to hear what the stat is on what they would be if it was a, apples to apples, fair level playing field against a gasoline car.
Right. Well, Ford has lost billions.
Billions.
They
How do they allow that to happen?
Well, they lose $60,000 a car when they sell it.
Like EVs.
EVs.
It's just dumb.
How do you maintain that?
Well, and why would you even want to? Like, what was the political motivation?
It's
or
a virtue signal.
Like, look at us. We're ahead of the game.
Right.
Maybe you can power your house off of your
Right.
Ford F-150.
Yeah, and then they built them, and there's this. It's a nice truck. Don't get me wrong.
It is
it's cool.
nice. It's
But-
really super heavy. Don't
Yeah.
ever get into a fender bender with it.
Yeah, no shit. Well, you'll win if you're in a truck, but there's problems with the truck, and I see these videos where people are like, yeah, I turned it in after 6 months, or I tried towing something, and I made it 20 miles,
It's not proven.
stuff like that. And
I see it being a government-sponsored experiment.
correct.
That's all it is.
And they're only going to get more expensive because what the government's looking at now, because right now we pay for all the roads via our gas tax.
Right.
Tesla's electric cars don't pay a gas tax because they don't
They don't.
get fuel.
That's right.
And these cars are heavier, and the way their tires are designed, it chews up the roads faster.
Great.
So
Yeah,
these are
that
I
That's
have not
bullshit.
heard that.
yeah. So these are because they're so heavy, and the tires are a certain way. They're chewing up the roads faster, but they're not paying into the
Yeah.
fund to repair them.
Which only
Well, they
goes
need to
on
be.
to that. That's kind of like I think. Well, whatever. I agree. Everyone agrees, but it's just like it was bullshit. And how are they going to fix that? I mean,
they're going to have what I've heard.
I don't know.
What I've heard is these governments are like, okay, well, if you have an EV, just like we have a registration every year, $75. Well, EVs may be $300
Right.
to make up that lost tax.
And then they won't buy them.
That's what I mean. They're going to get more expensive.
Right.
Uh,
I mean, they're already not buying them.
right,
Even when they're subsidized, they're not
Right.
buying them.
right. And I saw a video. A guy had a Tesla. Actually, no, he had a Rivian SUV or truck, and he was doing a comparison between how much it cost him to supercharge his Rivian or to fill a comparable car up with gas. So he's like, this has an equivalent of 850.
Yeah, total cost of ownership.
Right.
What
So
you're
he's like, a comparable will get like maybe 15 miles a gallon. It's a big truck. Gas is now $2.50 a gallon. So he did all the math, and he put in 43 kilowatt hours in his truck, and it got him 94 miles. And he did all the math, and he goes, that's about 10 gallons of gas at $2.50. Because I think it cost him $25. Right, for those 43 kilowatt hours. So he did all the math, and the fuel. So the electricity for $25 got him 93 miles. If he would have spent that same money on a car that got 15 miles a gallon, he would have gotten 150 miles.
That's crazy.
And then he goes, all right. Then he backtracked that and he goes, okay, for me to get 150 miles out of an electric charge, it would have cost me $40 instead of the 25. So it's $15 more. So even the fuel is getting out of whack now.
Yeah,
cost wise.
How do you put a price on the fact that he released 0.00000 made the air better?
But his tires are
that
coming
much.
apart, and he's making the roads fall apart.
I know, I'm joking. It's not even
destroying the roads.
It's,
Our
it-
roads
it's not even
already
making
suck.
a big difference from the environment perspective.
Our infrastructure of the United States is tattered.
Yeah.
The roads are not being taken care of. They're not being fixed in a constructive manner. I mean, look at the construction going on around Dallas-Fort Worth. It's kind of halted. You know, have you seen? Like, I mean, where are we at?
I don't leave Frisco.
I'm with you. I
Yes.
kind of don't.
I don't know
It's
what's going
sad.
on down in Dallas.
It's really sad.
Well, I drive around.
Yeah, you get around much
Sometimes.
more than
So-
Paul and I do.
Yeah, and I kind of go out far too, like a couple hours out and drive back. There's just not a lot going on. You know,
Interesting.
there's-
No, well, why are you? What are you speculating?
I'm just. I don't think
Like-
the money's there.
The budget's not there for it.
I'm thinking that we're putting our money in other baskets. You know, kind of
Well,
like
didn't Joe Biden pass the infrastructure bill? What he calls the infrastructure bill? That's really not an infrastructure bill. It's a green energy bill.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well,
Wasn't
you know,
that infrastructure to build and maintain roads and bridges, right?
he's
It
just a
should be.
piece of shit. You know, let's just be real. He's
He doesn't know what's
hats
going
off to man. I don't know what's. I mean, I want Donald Trump to be president, but at the same time, I don't want to bring his attitude. I want him to be president. I want his policies. God bless it. Everybody wants his policies.
It's going to
except
be
for the Democrats.
such a shitty year.
It's going to be a shit show, man. And
It's
we
going to be a
have no
shit show
idea.
this whole year. It's going to
the
be a
thing
shit
is,
show next year.
I don't even trust the voting system. I'm just
I
kind of
know.
like,
Well-
that's just it. If we even vote, so like, well,
By the way, did you? So they were going over some of the exit polls. I don't know if this came from the exit poll, but it was Iowans. How many of them thought that Biden won the election, like fair and square? And it was like 65% said that he didn't. 65% said that they didn't think he won the election fair and square, meaning they are all believing that it was stolen.
Right.
That's
so
crazy.
But let's dig into that a little bit.
I mean,
65%. So,
Yeah.
does that mean the Democrats think that, or do we
no,
believe
this
that
is just Republicans.
Yeah, yes, this weekend was just Republican. The Iowa Caucus is just
Cock
Republican.
ass.
It was just
Huh.
That's
I'm not sure that's how they pronounce it, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's you're a little tongue tied.
We're really excited about the cock asses this year.
Oh,
How are you going to vote?
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's only Republican. But what I did read,
Why is it always in Iowa? Sorry.
It's the primary.
Yeah, but why? So is there another one?
there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, but
every
if-
state.
Every state will have one.
Every state
Iowa
has
is typically the first.
There-
All right, but okay,
And they
so
call it-
Iowa's the first. And then Vivek was like, I'm out."
Well, he
Say that
got
again?
he got less than 8%.
Well, still, he said he's out. So
yeah,
that leaves.
because it is the very first litmus test for the whole primary process.
Yeah, he was so far behind the other two
Yeah,
who were
didn't
so
even-
far behind Trump,
Yeah, he didn't even come in second or third.
and he's funding his own thing. He's like, I've got a lot of time. I'll come back.
I was really surprised that DeSantis edged out Haley. Honestly,
Well, what I
I
was
mean,
going to
neither one of them are relevant. It doesn't matter.
right.
But I thought it was interesting.
Well, what I was going to say is they were looking at one of the counties, and the Democrats pushed a huge campaign to switch sides.
You can do that on the day that you vote.
And
Yes.
they did so many that Nikki Haley won by one vote in that county. They had so many Democrats swap side to kind of
Edge out
Trump.
DeSantis?
No, Trump. So
She beat Trump in that county.
one county, yes,
Oh,
by one
wow.
vote.
Just
So-
one county, though.
Yeah.
Because he trounced everywhere.
Correct. So they're sneaky
So
games.
that's
in
a
Iowa.
thing?
Oh yeah.
So are they gerrymandering those votes as well?
No, it's not gerrymandering. So in the Iowa
They allow
caucus,
it. You're allowed to do it.
You're allowed to. It's supposed to be it's the Republican primary. So just registered Republicans are supposed to vote in it. And Republicans are not supposed to in the Democrat primary, and the Democrats are not supposed to vote in the Republican. But they're shady,
Right.
and they're shady on both sides, really. But Democrats
No,
are more
Republicans
shady.
do it too.
Yeah, they'll do it too. But and so in the Iowa caucus, you're allowed to on the day that you vote can switch from Democrat to Republican.
But they've used their vote now. They can't go vote in the Democrat caucus now.
Yeah, but
Right?
and that's irrelevant because
It's Biden.
Because when you have an incumbent,
Well, I bet we see more of that this year then. I bet we
Yes.
see a lot more of the Democrats doing
Absolutely.
that this year.
yeah. But then again, I mean, RFK Jr.
No, true.
and now
True.
Joe Manchin is threatening to
Right.
join the no titles party.
The third party?
Yeah, it's a third party, but it's called the no
names?
names or
I just
something.
thought it's called a third party.
No,
They all have a name.
It's a particular.
It's the Whigs.
It's the no titles party or something like that.
Well, I remember 10, 15 plus years ago, Rush Limbaugh on his program says we need to instill Operation Chaos, which was, I don't know if it was the Obama.
Rush Limbaugh said that?
Rush Limbaugh on his show said we need to launch Operation Chaos, which was this exact thing.
Right. Which
where
is
Republicans, we need to make sure, I can't remember who it was, Hillary Clinton doesn't get the nod. So you need to swap sides and vote for whoever it was at the
that's
time.
so shady though, but I get it.
But both sides do it.
Both sides do it.
And the Dems did it, and they in one county they were able to organize very well and did it.
Yeah, they did it.
Is it no labels?
No
labels. That's
Yes.
it. God, I'm sure. One of our 35 listeners was like, "No labels, no
I
labels."
haven't heard jack shit from him in a month or more.
JFK Jr.
Yeah.
RFK Jr.
RFK.
Well, they probably had Jimmy the Fish show
He-
up at his house.
he-
Hey, you can't go on.
No. He's out there. He's out there doing his thing.
But I saw a lot of him.
Didn't California
before
like
the
cock
holidays.
block him? They took him off the ballot in California.
Yeah, something like that. But he made some headlines recently that were very inflammatory, and then when you read what he was talking about, it wasn't so bad. He was justifying. Okay, so his father was RFK, right? And he was the Attorney General of the United States. And the Attorney General investigated Martin Luther King, right? He told the FBI, as the Attorney General, he told the FBI to listen in on MLK's, phone calls and stuff.
Right.
And they were asking him, wiretap, there it is. RFK Jr. defends Kennedy administration wiretap of Martin Luther King. And he had an interesting spin on it. He was saying that the CIA was going after Hoover. Was it Hoover? Hoover was going after MLK.
Hoover was the FBI director.
No. Okay, well, who was the director of the CIA back then? I almost had it. Anyway, because the CIA was going after MLK and telling the FBI that MLK is all these bad things, he's arguing that his father told the FBI to listen in on MLK, not to go after him, but to find the truth and to exonerate him. You know what I mean?
Right.
To sort of. So who knows if that's really the case or
I
not?
don't know.
But so on Martin Luther King Day yesterday, the FBI was taking
What
a
year
beating.
were you talking about?
Well, they posted a tweet
Yes.
saying, "Hey, we're celebrating MLK,"
And we always
underneath-
have.
Underneath was like, "Yeah, this is after you wiretapped him, and
Yes.
this, and this, and may have been involved in his assassination." And
Yeah, and they said they mailed letters to him to tell him to commit suicide and stuff. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway,
So they got thrown under the bus pretty good.
yeah. When did Martin Luther King get get assassinated? It's the 60s. 69 maybe, 67. So it's 68. So obviously, 66, 67 was when the FBI was, tailing him and wiretapping him. And anyway, yeah, it didn't, that tweet didn't go over well.
So was Richard Helms as the CIA director back then?
Oh, that doesn't ring a bell, but yeah, okay.
Dick Helms.
Oh,
Nice.
he was CIA from 66 to 73. Dick Helms.
Dick Helms. When was Bush?
Bush was from 76 to 77
Oh, 1 year.
As the Attorney General?
No, he
as the CIA director.
Oh,
Director
okay.
CIA.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Interesting. Lot of history. A lot of history going on with all that crazy stuff. And remember, the CIA was trying to convince everybody that MLK's inner circle were communists. And remember, communism was a Cold War.
A big thing back
It
then.
was a height at the Cold War, and so,
Is that
they
McCarthyism.
yeah, and so they wanted to see if that were true. Anyway, crazy.
It is
you know,
crazy.
I look at the state of affairs that we are today politically, and we're fucked up. I look back then, throughout history, we were just as fucked up. It was just
Always.
different things.
Always,
You go back into the 1800s, it was fucked up back then.
for sure.
It's just different.
Yeah.
Now we're dealing with the tranny crap and all that, the social stuff. Back then, it was, there was social stuff back then, too. The whole Vietnam War,
Oh yeah.
the war, the
Jane
peace
Fonda.
movement, and all that shit.
Yep.
It was
And-
just as
and-
toxic back
and
then.
Kent State. Remember Kent
Oh,
State?
yeah. I mean, it was bad back then.
Yeah, it was.
And
It wasn't a good time.
and luckily we have some mass shootings, but Kent State was bad. That's where the cops did it, or the National Guard or
Yeah,
something.
they shot rubber bullets and killed some people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
That's
think
that iconic picture of the hippie putting the flower in the end of the rifle
the
butt.
rifle.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it comes blasting out and right through his eyeball.
I don't think it shot her head off.
Well,
but yeah.
it's to keep things in perspective. Yeah, it's fucked up. There's a lot of stupid shit going on, but there's a lot of stupid shit been going on since we've been.
I think you're right. I think
the
it's a
country.
natural tendency to think that it's never been worse.
Yeah,
But that's not true.
it's just different. It's just we're older. We're paying attention now, and it was fucked up when we were 10.
So the only thing I would probably, not necessarily disagree, but the only thing that I would highlight is that politically, I can't remember two parties hating each other like they do now.
I bet there was a time back in the day.
But you're probably right. You're probably right.
Well,
But I mean, it's so toxic. I just feel like I've never felt this toxicity.
I think
social
one thing,
media.
I think one thing is,
Yeah,
is
that's a
you're
big
more
part of it.
aware.
News.
You're aware of it.
That's true.
You're in the middle of it. You're and you read more than you probably
Constantly.
should.
Oh, constantly. I hate it.
So a lot of people don't feel that because they're not in it.
Yeah, they're like, what? What happened with what? I'm
Yeah.
like, you're kidding me.
I don't
Did you
feel
hear
the
about this?
animosity,
Right.
right?
No, I got you.
So I think a lot of it has to do with how involved we are in the news. But again, I don't think this is anything out of the norm. It's just the topics and the situations are a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it's in 20 years it's gonna be something else.
But one thing that was really interesting was, how Texas is taken, like Abbott is like wanting to shut down this border thing at least for Texas.
Good
Oh,
for
yeah.
him, man.
And so he has mobilized the Texas National Guard, and it's I've never heard of this. It's the Texas Military Department. I was like, we have a Texas Military Department?
I guess we do.
I know. And so they went to
Texas
the area,
Tactical Border Force.
right? And there's a whole bunch of acronyms, and then so they went to Eagle Pass,
Right.
which is where they're coming over the most.
Mm-hmm.
And so they basically took it over, and they said, Border Patrol, no, we're good. We got this.
Right.
And so what did Border Patrol do? They made up a story of
Someone drowning, right?
migrants drowning and the Texas National Guard preventing them from getting to them and saving them. It was a total bullshit lie.
Well, the
I mean, it's
department
so shady what
it is.
Biden and the federal government.
And the DOJ is suing Texas now, saying you can't do this.
Yeah, well, you know
well,
what?
in the
Suck
Constitution,
it.
I believe, there's the state constitution, and if you're not doing your job,
No, they're not.
it is a responsibility of the governor in the state of Texas to protect its border.
I think every border state needs to step up and take care of their own. at their own border.
They've tried a few times, and they've made them undo things.
Yeah, they had the shipping container wall.
Yeah, in Arizona.
Yeah, and they
Now
made
you
them
gotta
take
it down. Well, why? Well, you're on government land. We don't want it there.
So crazy.
You're
So
impacting
crazy.
the migration of the newt. The Arizona one-eyed newt.
Well, no, I don't think they didn't play an animal
didn't
card
play that
on this
card?
one, but they typically do.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about fun stuff. Let's talk about people who died.
How about your topic about your penis hole?
My penis hole.
Yeah.
How
that's
pubes
not a
get stuck
topic.
in your.
I was just joking.
Oh.
That was a, because we always say, we in the lead up to the podcast. Oh, this is a podcast topic,
Right.
and I was just thinking, what could be a funny thing that we?
We used the word sticky.
I did use the word sticky.
I'm kind of curious about the whole pube and the penis hole thing.
No,
How did you manage that?
you know what? Sometimes I just think of funny things. To
Is there like a vacuum going on? Is there
Oh, you mean how did that really happen?
I'm just trying to figure out how the hair got into the penis
Oh,
hole.
it doesn't get into the penis hole. It just covers the hole, and
kinda
then
like a
then
mesh, like a
and then
net.
your spray goes all over the place, and you're like, damn it. I mean, come on, that happens to all men that let their pubic hair get crazy
I'm
long.
very well manicured.
Oh, so you don't
I've
have.
got like I've got this groomed pelt down.
See,
It's like a flat top.
yeah. See, this is why I didn't want to talk about this kind of thing, because now I'm sure people are getting visuals of his flat
Sean's
top.
groomed pelt.
Oh, I use a flat iron. Just gotta smooth it all out.
Wow.
You part it.
Maybe
You
dead
feather it
people's.
back.
Maybe dead people's a better thing
Feather
to talk about.
It looks like an 80s
Feathered back.
An 80s
Did I hear
female
you say
haircut.
feathered back?
Yes.
Oh, honey, that's such a good look when you feather your scrotum.
Yeah. They put a fan on it. Watch it just like glisten in the wind.
God.
God.
All right.
So that's Paul's topic of the day.
No, that was not my topic. That was a joke of a topic.
This message brought to you. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Speaking of, we'll be right back. Drinking. This
bourbon.
is pretty tasty.
It's a high rye bourbon.
It's very. I don't want to slim it because I'm enjoying it.
But you're going to.
It's
Well, hold on. What is it?
well. This, oh yeah,
We're breaking it down.
feels
Whoa.
good.
What?
You're breaking it down. Where is the bottle?
I brought it in.
It's Redemption Whiskey. This one is the High Rye,
High rye.
Bourbon. All right. So this is
Yeah.
a High Rye Bourbon. It's Redemption Whiskey.
It's one we've had before.
Yep. It's about 105 proof ish.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. So it's in the pocket. It's good. It's easy to drink.
It is
Surprisingly easy to drink.
It's easy.
It's got some spice. There's warm notes of caramel, hazelnut, and little ginger meld in there.
ginger
some-
meld.
Yeah, there are some people who actually say there's like a little not stone fruit, but a little
Okay.
little strawberry,
No,
a little strawberry liqueur action going on.
Liqueur?
Yeah,
All right.
some people.
So this is the high rye bourbon, but it's 60% corn. Okay, interesting.
It's only 92 proof? I thought he says 105.
The one we have is 105 proof.
Ours is a store pick.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
Total
that's
Wine store
right.
pick.
Yes. So ours is going to be different than this.
So it's 36% rye. Or maybe that's not even the same, but it does say high rye, so that's good.
Well, it's a high rye. Yeah, it's the same thing. Ours is just a store pick.
All right, so
I like it.
I like it
It's got
too.
some sweetness on the front.
it is. It's got
Um,
some sweetness for sure.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I hate you guys
Huh.
for like always busting my balls because I like to express the way I feel about bourbons. But today I kind of agree with you. I kind of got a sense of what you guys go through whenever I talk about the bourbon.
boy.
Because look, I think
I
that
am all ears on
this
this one.
Redemption High Rye Bourbon is good, but I will share with you,
Mhm.
it's a little MGP-ish for me.
I mean, it's bland.
It's got a hint of blandness. It's got a hint of genericness. However, that doesn't take away from the fact that I like this. I'm going to go ahead and
You're saying there's no uniqueness to this.
it doesn't scream uniqueness to me. I will drink another glass of this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't kick it out of bed for sure. This is good. It's solid.
Yeah.
I like it. It's kind of a light, and I think what they said about the strawberry liqueur is kind of hits it because it's got a really nice, soft rosé kind of feel to it. When you
It definitely has a sweet nose. It doesn't have quite the sweetness in the taste, but I mean, there is some. It's good. I like it.
Fennel.
Fennel.
You know what fennel? What they use? They use that in like Italian sausage.
Oh.
Sausage.
A little sausage.
Fennel-like notes
I got
of
some
light
fennel
licorice
downstairs I can
and
bring up.
black pepper from the rye.
Little caramel.
I don't see
Anyway, I
caramel.
like this. And
Little hazelnut.
it's how much rye did you say was in it?
36%.
All right.
So it says vanilla, red berries, and toasted oak.
Oh, taste all that.
That's the palate.
60% corn.
Interesting.
Hey, accept those cookies over there.
Yes, come on.
What is going on with
No,
that?
but I like this. I'm going to give this a 6.5.
Oh.
I was going to go with 6.3. So yeah, that's about right. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So, I'd like it. We
So
will-
a 9.7 for you?
Well, my point is, I probably would buy this for my collection.
It's good.
You know?
Remember, it's a store pick.
Yeah. Well,
which
then
means-
That plays into
it's
it.
out. You know.
So
Yeah, because you'd never get the 94 proof. My God.
Probably not.
What
But
a waste.
hey, come on.
I know. I'm busting your balls. It's okay.
Speaking of ball busting, we went out to 1845 Distillery in Lowry Crossing, Texas, this past week. So, dudes like us, for those folks that don't know, have embarked a couple of years ago on the on wood crafting stuff.
Mhm.
So we do, find us on Dudes Like Us Instagram. Find us. There's actually a Facebook page out there. We're going to cultivate it pretty good and add wood projects in there. In fact, we have a Dudes Like Us wood project page, but. I guess what I'm getting at is we were out in 1845. we're going to hopefully start pushing some of these freebies for them. We're making a few plaques.
Little wooden boxes. Little wooden gift
something
boxes.
here.
Yeah.
It's exciting for me. It's exciting for Jeff. I wish you could have gone. I know.
Yeah, I wasn't
It'd have
able
been. It's exciting to go to the store with your son and buy a gun. I thought that was kind of cool too. What do you end up getting?
He ended up getting a Springfield Hellcat.
a Gatling gun
Yeah, it's a Gatling gun. Uh-huh. It shoots 6,000 rounds per second.
per minute.
Oh, that
Yes,
is-
that's nice.
Yeah, it's a Vulcan gun, actually.
Oh, well, 6,000 rounds. That's quite the
And you-
spin on that.
So we went to Shields.
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 Shields. There's no
Nice.
D.
Oh, really? I said Shields.
Shields.
Shields. And because I knew they had a big selection, and damn, what a zoo! What a freaking zoo!
Oh yeah.
I mean, anyway, it was crazy. I mean, and he had never been there, so I thought that's kind of cool for him to see.
Did you
that.
actually buy one?
Yeah, so we went upstairs to the gun area, and I was like, "Oh shit, here we go," because I don't know anything. I really, honestly, don't
hold
know.
On. Doesn't it? To me, it seems like you're going to overpay there.
No, I mean, because they can.
I don't know.
They can volume buy, right? So
I don't know. I mean, I know that when Jeff and I have gone there, we've looked at some other items like sweatshirts, shoes, whatever it is, and it's kind of like, get the fuck out of here.
Really,
I'm
it was
not paying that
overpriced.
price.
Yeah, the
Interesting.
clothing's
You've
kind of overpriced.
lost
I
your
think.
God blessed mind.
well, interesting. I definitely. So the only price points I knew about in terms of guns were the Glocks, right? Because I have a Glock. So I was kind of worried about that. I was like, I haven't even done any research about if it's priced or whatever. And we walked up, and sure enough, the Glock prices were the same as Academy's Glock prices. So I was like, well, I think we're probably okay. Anyway, but it was a freaking zoo, and I was like, I don't even know where to start here because I don't know anything about the other gun
Was there a
brands.
line to get into the area?
No, but everything's under lock and key, so if you have to talk to somebody, and I was like, shit, man, I don't know how this is going to go. Anyway, this guy just walks by, and he's like, you just got lucky. And he was like, need any help? I was like, we do. And so he just bam, 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 just, here are the top 3 brands, and here's what you're looking for, and here are the differences, and
Did you get the 9mm?
So yeah, it's a 9mm. It's, he got the Springfield Hellcat.
I've got a couple of Springfields, a 40
Yeah,
and a 45.
Do you guys want some ammo? I just got another 100,000 rounds. I'm running out of closet space for
Just
this.
under 100,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like the 40.
Yeah.
So
Have you shot it?
yes,
Cool.
So you got a little pow to it
yeah, it's good
compared to
I
a
like
9mm?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just significantly bigger. I like the 45 as well. But I
Yeah.
like the 40
40's
the best.
got like a huge stopping power. The 45's, I mean, compared to the 9mm, 40's
yeah.
gonna like
No, for sure.
good night.
If you want stopping power with a 9mm, you have to get a hollow point. Basically, because it's
Well, they say for home defense, you don't want to use standard bullets because they'll go through the person
and through a wall.
through the wall. So you want to get a hollow point
Hollow point. Yeah.
to
So
cause maximum damage.
yeah, so he immediately liked the Springfield Hellcat, and the price point was pretty good. I mean, it was like 500 and something. That's what I knew it would be. And the guy goes, I think I have that exact one in pre-owned. Let me go look up. And we walk over to this other thing, and it was like $150 even cheaper.
What?
Yes. And I was like, score. So, yeah. So
Is it black or the desert?
Black. Yeah. So he got a pre-owned one and got some ammo, and he was really excited. I already got him a...
Has he got a license or anything?
You don't need one. No.
You don't need a license.
True.
Yeah.
However, you do have
to do a background check. But you
Yeah.
don't have to have a license unless you want to do a concealed carry.
There you go.
You can
That's
still
what I was getting at.
Actually,
That's why I
you
was
don't
asking.
need that in Texas anymore either. If you go outside of Texas is when
There
you
you go.
need that.
Well, that's why I was asking. So, I mean, still, it's good to have it because the reason why I say that is because I don't trust the system. I'm
Right.
thinking that this is just a way for them to fuck with us so that we don't get it. Then all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, by the way, boom, here's a new law. And by the way, if you want to get a concealed handguns lessons, we have all these new credentials that you got to fill.
So I'm kind of curious. So
And all the old ones are void. You have to start over.
Perhaps.
I
should be
I'm not
grandfathered
exactly
in.
sure. I know we have open carry, so you literally can walk around the street with a pistol in a holster in plain view. But I don't think you can conceal it unless you have a concealed carry.
No,
Yeah,
not
you
anymore.
can't conceal it.
Are you 100%
Pretty
sure
sure,
on
yeah,
that?
that's a
Because
fairly
open
new-
carry means
That's a fairly
visible.
new law over the last year or so.
Can you look that up for us, Mr. Producer? Like the difference between open carry and concealed
Well,
carry in Texas?
Do you need a CHL in Texas? I don't
Right.
think you do. I think Texas went all out and says if you have a gun, you can carry it.
Yeah. Well, I really want to know this. Okay, here we go. Open carry versus concealed carry pros and cons. Is that in particular of Texas? Okay, good. So it's going to ask you for the
Put your
state.
zip code.
Oh no, I thought it was going to be because this could be very. This is I know a lot of people get confused.
So
about
here's
this.
the question: Can you concealed carry in Texas without a license? Texas is coming up on 2 years since permittees carry passed in the Texas legislature, which has allowed Texans to carry handguns without a license since September 2021. Although they don't need a permit to carry a handgun, over 200,000 people in Texas still obtained a license in 2022.
That's what I thought.
But it
So
doesn't.
I
So
could
why?
carry one without anything.
So
my
why?
driver's license.
Yeah, but it doesn't say concealed.
That's what I'm wondering.
Well, it says you're carrying it.
That means like a side arm.
Yes.
Well, they didn't specify that.
Well, there's a difference between having one under your jacket
Well, that's called
versus
open.
a sidearm.
Well, it's called open carry. Why didn't they say you could open carry with no
Well, that's what I'm
Well,
trying
that's
to find
not
out.
open.
That's what
They're
I'm
just
trying
It's
to
just
find
not
out.
open and concealed.
They're just saying
So
carry.
tell you what, keep looking for that, Mr. Producer, and try to find something that says, are we allowed to conceal a handgun without a permit in Texas? What does it say? Oh, okay. Does it need to be in a holster? If a handgun is partially or wholly visible, it must be in a holster. All right, so that implies that if it's not visible, it doesn't have to be.
Texas law does not place similar holster requirements on a handgun being carried in a concealed manner.
Really? So why would anybody get a LTC, a license to
Or-
carry?
Because of the
or-
reciprocating licenses in 21 other states.
Correct.
23
I
other
If
states.
you
see.
travel, right? So
Well, but even if you travel, I mean, when I travel to Arkansas, I've got my pistol in my car, and I'm allowed to have it in my car. It has nothing to do with that license to carry thing.
Needs
as
to be in
long
a
as they have-
lockbox, though.
Do it?
Needs to be in a lockbox, though.
I don't even think that. You can have it in your car in reciprocal states, right?
You can't have it within. You can't be able to access it to from where you're at in the car.
so that
It needs
gun
to be
rack,
tucked away.
gun
In
rack.
Texas?
No, outside. Like if you don't have a license in that state, you can carry it because a car is an extension of your home.
Yes.
However,
But what if they don't have licenses like Texas? So can someone from Louisiana carry a gun in Texas?
I think
If
that
they have reciprocal laws where they honor each other's laws. Yes.
So
and
all
not every
the-
state has that.
all
but
the
yes.
23 states that are under the umbrella of the Texas handgun license, concealed handgun license, all share the same. It's a reciprocal law for all those 23 states.
So I'm going to make it up, Missouri. So we can be in Missouri, and I can carry in my back. I can load my Springfield 40 in my lower back.
Yep,
no
put
problem.
it in your belt loop.
My belt
I
loop.
forget what states are on that license.
I was going to say if that I was just doing
If it was.
if it
If
was
it was.
reciprocal, right?
Yeah.
The answer would be yes. If they have a reciprocal law honoring open carry like Texas does, then you can walk around with a gun tucked into your belt.
Well, I'm not there yet to feel comfortable to do that.
I'm not either.
Because I need to pick the gun that I want to train on, and I want to take classes. I want my wife to go through it as well. I said, I need you to pick one of these so you get comfortable with it.
And remember, if you're gonna conceal it, it'd be a pain in the ass for my Glock to be concealed. It's a big handgun. They have much smaller ones. Like Dillon's is much smaller.
I'll get my Springfields out.
Not small, much smaller, but
I'll get my Springfields out at halftime so you can see them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyway, that's an interesting topic, and I was excited to get that for him because
I'm kind of disappointed about that, honestly.
Which part?
Because the concealed part, I think that's bullshit. I think that open carry is open carry. If you don't need, I had, and it's only because I had to take like a super extended class.
So if you didn't take that class, you'd be fine with it?
Pardon?
If you didn't take that class, you'd be okay with it?
No. What I'm saying is that I did take the class.
Right.
And I think it's bullshit that they're just going to say, all right, well, you don't need to take the class. Anyone can take a gun. You can just go get the fucking gun. I think that's bullshit.
And then walk around.
I think that there needs to be some accountability. I'm not saying that you need to register your guns. I'm just saying that, you should be able to, you need a license, I think, to have a gun on you that's concealed. If you want to walk around with a fucking AR-15 strapped over your shoulder,
you can.
You can.
Then fine. I don't care about that. You can see it. That motherfucker's got a gun. I don't think that they should legally be able to conceal a gun unless they have a license.
Interesting.
That's just my opinion.
No, I get it. I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I would feel better knowing what's the point of even having it. There's got to be a reason why they still offer it. It's a concealed handgun permit. So I want to read up on it because I don't know.
Well, it says right here, clear as bell, beginning September 1st, 2021, HB 1927 made it legal in Texas for most people 21 or over to carry a handgun in a holster without permit, both openly and or concealed.
Well, there you go.
Correct.
All right, so why? Why get a concealed handgun permit? What does it give you? I know that
unless it gives you confidence. Like I said, I don't have confidence to carry a gun. Maybe it would give me confidence if I went to the class.
And that's just it too, because the class teaches you how to shoot.
Right.
It teaches you a bunch of rules. It teaches you the legalities of shooting somebody, and it also promotes the idea that if you have a handgun, you probably should get some sort of insurance.
I was just about to say that because they offer discounts. Or they automatically maybe, I don't know, enroll you to where if you were in a shooting incident,
I think it's huge.
They'll back you. They'll
take care of you
legal perspective.
100%. They'll knock some shit out. Right. So, and it's extremely affordable.
Right.
It's like $50 a year, something like that.
Yeah. No, that can be a good deal.
Yeah. So every time
they also like the NRA or just through an insurance company.
Oh, insurance.
It's a very specific one. Mm-hmm. It is not the NRA, but it's a specific one, and they push it.
Liberty.
Yeah.
That one.
It's not that one. It's not that one. Good guess.
Yeah, good segue too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, great jingle.
Yeah, they like that. I hit the notes.
Jingle, jingle, jingle. Kind of
it.
like the goddamn Frozen. Speaking of Frozen and choking, God, Dallas Cowboys.
Oh God.
Segue.
Jesus.
They looked.
It
so
was,
bad from the very beginning.
I actually, usually like another team I don't care about, I'm like whatever, but I was just like, ouch. I was like, they're not going to get over this for a long time.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, my thing is,
if
you slip into the playoffs as a Cinderella team because three teams had to lose for you to get in, that's different, right? But they were the front runner. Like they
got fucking manhandled.
No. Philadelphia was a front runner for most of the season until the last 3 or 4 games.
I get it, but Dallas has been beating the shit out of people. Like they win every game by like 20 points.
Yeah, but
every game.
Yeah, but they're against teams that suck.
Okay, their division's probably not great.
Yeah, the games they've lost are
tight. I mean, no. I mean, but the
teams,
the better teams, they beat some of them.
No, I don't think so.
Dude, they were 11-6.
Yeah,
you don't get that record without.
They played the Giants twice. They played the Washington twice. They played Philadelphia twice. Lost one of them. They beat Philadelphia when now they suck.
So you're saying they were overrated the whole time?
I think their record didn't reflect how good they were.
Like it was
They're true.
inflated, right?
I think.
Well, I mean, apparently how they went down kind of backs that up.
I mean,
but-
they did have C.D. Lamb that had like a phenomenal
He
year.
did. He did.
And
Oh,
like broke
kept,
records.
they kept talking about that over and over again. It's like we don't understand what's
And
happening.
the
Jack
defensive
and
player,
CeeDee Lamb
who's the
over
guy
and over
that
again.
had a record-breaking six. What are they called? Pick six, right?
Bland? Is that his name?
Deron
Bland or something like that? I think his name is
I don't know.
Bland.
Man.
Right?
But very interesting games over the weekend. It started out with Texas beating the shit out of Cleveland. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see.
I mean,
it.
I knew
I
they.
picked Cleveland. I picked Cleveland to win that.
Damn,
But that C.J. Stroud, he looks good.
he looks really good.
Looks good.
I didn't watch
I'm almost
any
like
games.
bitter. I'm bitter because it's like, they're a division rival, and damn, they get one draft pick and it turns their whole freaking season around.
Well, I think the
and now
coach
they're
has
like
some-
one game into the playoffs. I'm like, really, fucking one pick?
Yeah,
Really?
I think the coach has something to do with it as well, though.
Well, yeah, D'Amico Ryans is a good coach, I think. So, anyway, what else happened? I guess the rest of the games weren't shocking, but none of them were close.
Well, I was disappointed in the Buffalo Steelers game because I was looking forward to a nasty-ass weather game.
Yep, snowy, snowmageddon game.
And it pissed me off because the NFL moved it to Monday. It would have been so fun to try to watch those guys out there. Now, it was ridiculously windy.
It was almost dangerous.
Yeah, so
So they did the right thing.
they should have left the snow on the field. I'd like to see them trudging through like 3 feet of snow. That's not realistic either. But when I tuned it in yesterday, I was like, this was like a regular fucking game.
Yeah, I was really surprised because
I think there's no snow.
Yeah, they were really talking about how it may be just as bad and blah blah blah. So anyway,
Yeah. No, I like the outdoor games. I like the fact that I don't like dome games. As a spectator, I like dome games, but on TV, I want to see them outside fighting the elements as well.
Yep.
Those are always
And
fun
being
games
miserable.
to watch. Yeah, being miserable. And
Shit, I remember living in New Jersey, and this is like in the early late 70s, early 80s, and we'd be out there playing football.
Oh yeah.
You know,
in the snow with no
oh
sleeves.
dude,
yeah.
no, oh it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
We
Well,
played,
at some
we
point
played
it's
full,
so cold you don't feel it, right? So
Yeah, we'd play full contact tackle football, and there'd be a foot of snow out there, and it was starting to thaw. I remember this specifically. It was starting to thaw, so it was just a mud pit.
oh
And we were just from head to toe because we were all getting tackled.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
slipping everywhere. You couldn't run very fast, so the tackles weren't going to obliterate you. But
how fun!
you'd get tackled and you just slide, and it was cold as fuck
oh yeah,
for one thing. And your clothes were drenched. And it was probably
And you're sweating too because you're working your
Yeah.
ass
Yeah.
off.
So it was starting to melt. So
which
it's
is a
probably-
weird like
yeah.
thing going on where
Yeah.
you're sweating but
Yeah.
you're frozen.
it was
Yeah.
probably upper 30s, right? So
Yeah.
this wasn't quite super cold, but it was still. Once the game was done, you're just like, all right, I need to go change for one thing.
So you both got to experience that then. You were both in cold climate kind of childhoods,
Oh yeah, I was.
or at least for a while. I mean, I know you went to Germany. I don't know if that was cold there,
Well,
but
Germany's colder.
you're right. Okay, yeah, it's farther up in terms of latitude.
Yeah. Well, it turns summer's a little bit different in Germany too.
Much longer.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even.
Well, it's
really
different weather
remember.
patterns over there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just like England, right? It's further north, but I don't think they get some snow. From what I understand, they don't get like feet.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I got when I was a really young kid, I was in Denver for a while, but then we moved overseas, right? So I mean, Argentina got cold, but then the rest of the time it was in tropics. There was no, it was wet and dry. So yeah, I didn't, and then I moved to Houston, so I didn't get that cold.
Did you ever find your headband?
I haven't looked for it. Well, I tell you what, snow wintertime is a blast as a kid.
Yeah,
Absolute blast.
I would think so.
It sucks as an adult. Absolutely sucks as an adult.
Right.
And you think, no, it's gonna be a good time. No, going on vacation in snow is one thing,
Right.
but living in it and going,
Shoveling your driveway.
we got 4 feet of snow yesterday. I can't get to the store. My kids are screaming for food. I have no toilet paper. What am I going to do?
Just you wipe it in the snow.
I guess.
That's where you need
Or
a bidet.
you're like, I got to get to work.
You do what the dogs do. You tromp around in the snow and take a shit on top of the snow.
And, you're shoveling driveways or you got snow blowers and it's cold. It sucks as an adult to live in there.
I never had to do with that.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Loved it as a kid.
Sure.
Absolutely loved it.
I mean, now it's like we get snow and like, we got snow. You know what I mean? It's like a totally different reaction as opposed to fuck.
Right. And, and the cities really don't shut down up there in the north, right?
We totally do. It's so funny. I mean, I think it was, yesterday when it snowed overnight. Not even very much, right?
It was like a quarter inch.
Quarter inch. So where I work in my little corner is the front window, and I can oversee the front street. A car didn't pass, and it's it's a fairly high residential traffic road, right? No tracks were laid on that road past lunchtime.
Right. Yep.
It's insane.
People are afraid.
Yeah, how we just. Well, I think it's also an excuse.
Oh, it is. Oh, I don't have to go to work today.
Yep. Oh, it's snow. Oh, can't do it.
Yep.
So anyway, it's fun.
I mean, what's different now versus when we were growing up regarding school, for example? We would get up in the mornings and you'd have to run to the TV and check the little
ticker,
the little ticker
School-
on the
school
bottom where you're
closure.
just scrolling through
Down
the
the
school.
bottom.
and you're like, come on.
And it gets past your letter. You're like, fuck.
Damn it. And then you're like, my school district sucks.
Oh, I love
Mine
it.
did. I didn't have.
Open no matter what.
I didn't. Yes, mine was. I never had one snow day all the way through high school, and we had feet of snow several years.
Frisco shuts down if it gets below 40.
And I walked to school.
It's true.
They
It's
do.
so silly.
Just the thought. No,
It's so crazy.
and there were districts around us that closed because it's cold.
Yeah. But look at you. You're tough. Those other kids in those other school districts,
Pussies.
big time pussies, man. Look at them now. Look them up on Facebook right now. Come up with a name of somebody in another school district.
Just appease.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
they did you right.
That's right.
Look how tough you are.
And I argue with my wife. I was like, because she was looking. She goes, Richardson's closed, Dallas is closed, Fort Worth is closed.
And
I was like, why are they closed? Oh, it's cold. What do you mean it's cold?
Right.
You just don't go to school because it's cold? Right? I was like, you know what I went
Such
through?
wusses.
I was like, I would walk literally. My kids don't
Here we
believe me. I
go.
was like, I walked
Uphill.
Both ways.
Both ways. I
Oh,
did.
my God.
Naked.
And I wasn't naked.
I got gangrene and
But I
frostbite.
would walk through fucking blizzards to school.
blizzards.
Yes, I would go to school and my hair was frozen.
Yeah, I've done that.
It was
Isn't
ridiculous.
that child abuse?
Yeah, that's crazy. How the
Oh, it
hair
is.
was all frozen.
Yeah, it's just that's what I did.
Did
You get the-
did you put your tongue on a pole?
No, you don't do shit like that.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry.
Did you have a
Not
brother
from
that was like-
Ohio.
Well,
okay.
you learn those things.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a good idea. Well, a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this yeah, in doses I can handle it. The older we get, yeah, I'm with you. I was outside with almost with nothing on. I mean, I had a jacket on with my underwear on
Nothing
and some
on.
Crocs,
Wow.
and I was outside
Did you
there.
play football that way?
No, I was trying to like put the little thing on top of the spigot on the back. Dude, but it froze the back there. I was scared to death. I ran an extension cord, put a little heater on the spigot outside.
For the first year ever, I didn't even cover the faucets with those little. I didn't do it.
Living life
I kind of-
dangerously there.
Well, I kind of got distracted when Dylan showed up and was like, "Oh, we're shopping for the gun," because I was supposed to winterize that day. It was so hot that day.
Right.
It was like 68.
Well, Jeff and I were talking about. Actually, I was talking about that, giving you indirectly a little shit. I was like, God damn, why does Paul have so much on his plate all the time?
It's not.
I don't
it's-
fucking get it.
It's.
How is he so busy?
I kind of am.
Yes.
I guess. I don't know.
God,
I've got things going on.
that's what dudes like us
But I
have.
really wanted to go to 1845. I really did. And I wanted to bring Dylan. I told you guys.
Yes.
And then I was excited. But what I didn't know is he made plans with me, with others, to watch the game at a sports bar.
But you said he wanted to go to 1845.
He did, but I was like, you made plans? He's like, yeah, Dad, after we get the gun, we're going to this place. I was like, well, there goes 1845.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
All right. Oh, you're this, I'm that.
Shout out to Lowry Crossings, 1845 Distillery. Your shit's awesome. Mr. Producer, thank you. First half of the podcast. It is the January 16th, 2024. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
This is dudes like